Let's talk anime. Hello and welcome to Brandon's Discuss Anime, the Reckless Amoeba podcast, all about anime and other things. I am your host, Brandon Horvath, and with me are my friends, Brandon Thalinger.
Yo, peoples, all three of you, keep watching.
And once again, Anders Ryan Sohill.
What's up, guys? Not Andrew, but
He's like a Pokemon.
Ryan.
He leveled up and evolved.
Oh man. Okay, so I saw Oreos has a mystery flavor out.
Yeah.
What is the reward if you actually get the correct answer for what they are?
You're entered into a pool where you can win $50,000 or $10,000 5 mini prizes.
or 5,000 Oreos.
Do they tell you what the mini prizes are or no?
No. I like 5 mini prizes of $10,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the grand prize is $50,000.
You think it's like Mystery Airheads, where it's just watermelon?
Actually,
Trick question. It was watermelon the whole time.
I heard it's fruity rice cereal.
Oh, like wait, they already did Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, but that's what all the internet is saying.
Well, if the internet knows it, obviously it must be correct.
Yeah, but
Everything on the internet is true.
Yeah, I did hear one person say it tastes like lemon meringue.
I was about to say it's probably lemon, because normally, like, those kind of fruity flavors, lemon is the base.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but they already have a lemon with the vanilla cookie.
Yeah,
mhm.
but who wants lemon and chocolate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
weird.
that's my only thing about it's not lemon.
Oh, actually, I had a question, Andrew, because I don't think I actually got this answered from last time.
Ryan,
Sorry, alright.
It's okay.
You are being contagious here, Amoeba.
I'm sorry.
I'll start calling you guys Andrew. That's cool.
Anyway, about the Reptar bars,
Mhm.
what did they actually taste like, or did you not hear about that yet?
I didn't, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and it's probably tastes like the
Mint?
heck. No, not mint. It's probably like those Oreo cream, but just green, and it also makes your tongue green,
Well,
just
obviously,
like in the
show
cartoon.
the show showed us it needed to turn green, so therefore the actual product must make it turn green.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of surprised that they got the license for it.
Yeah, and FYE, dude, have you been in one since like 2000?
Recently,
It's-
I think like a year ago I was in one.
I was in one like 5 years ago.
Dude, they changed so much. Like now they have the comic book store chain,
Mhm.
and it's literally the same thing except they have like movies at FYE. They sell the
Huh.
same stuff.
Yeah, the one at
Like
the
t-shirts and-
the one at the mall that I go to actually has a whole bunch of different stuff. Like you get there's comic books there, there's movies, there's anime,
Mhm.
there's what else? Like pop figurines and stuff.
yeah,
pop vinyls,
that's like what I noticed the most, like pyramids of the pop
toys and
figures.
figures. Some tech stuff. But yes, a lot of pop vinyl figures.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I'm curious how much of their money is made off of those, because people tend to have an uncontrollable urge.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're neat. I think I have a Deadpool one.
I have a couple. I actually
Somewhere.
bought 3 of them at FYE at one point because it was buy 2 get 1, I think half off. And there was
Are
some in there that
any-
I hadn't seen before. Like I found a Voltron one there,
Oh, really?
and I'm just like, oh, I need this.
They're also not that expensive. So if you like collecting like figurines and stuff, like
It also depends too, like on the quality, because sometimes some
Yeah.
of them have like the dead soulless black eyes,
yeah, and,
And
the
then
like
sometimes-
special editions.
and then sometimes like
sparkly.
with Cuphead, they actually have ones that look like the characters.
Wait, they actually have Cuphead.
They are producing Cuphead ones. I don't know if they're
What?
out yet, but they are producing them.
I might actually get those.
You can get a 2-pack of, I believe, Cuphead and Mugman, and I believe they had the Devil's Big one.
Nice.
And are any of your vinyl pop ones of Saber? Or I
No,
thought you
they
said
don't have those.
okay. Call back to a episode that may be a lost episode by this one goes up. Lost episode callback. Yay!
It's a callback.
But no, what else? Like I got one from Bioshock Infinite. I got Elizabeth because I couldn't find like a cheap Elizabeth figure. They were all like $200. So I'm like, fuck that. I'll just get this.
That's just fucking insane. Did you?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Did you guys see they're bringing Tamagotchis back?
Yes. Although technically, if you want to get specific, the Digimon Tamagotchis have never disappeared.
Yeah, I've seen those around.
Really? So they look like the Digivice, and
They've got battles. They got wild encounters with other Digimon. They believe you can catch, kind of like Pokemon. It's like the original Pokemon Go, but with pixel art.
I never knew Digimon was so much like Pokemon.
Surprising? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yes and no.
Mhm.
Like, to be fair, Digimon actually came first
Yeah, it did.
in Japan. Like, it was first produced over there before Pokemon was. I think, like,
Really?
Yeah.
But Pokemon popularized it.
Pokemon became far more popular, especially over here in the West.
Hmm.
I often get Digimon and Monster Rancher confused because it's like almost the same thing.
Speaking of which, I need to yell at a friend of mine for getting me addicted to the new Digimon phone app.
They actually have a phone app?
Digimon Links exists and is a thing.
Is it called Digimon Go?
It's called Digimon Links.
Dude, they had that Yu-Gi-Oh game they were promoting, and I tried to play it, and like the servers were down for like a couple weeks. So
I played it. I
Never.
hit the point where it's like, well, I may as well pay more money for digital cards, and I'm like, nope, I'm done.
yeah,
I haven't
They
hit
have,
that point with Digimon Links yet, where I've been urged to spend money.
they have the Yu-Gi-Oh card game on Xbox where like every single card is available.
What is
And,
it,
like-
Legacy of the Duelist, right?
Yeah,
They have it on Steam too. I've seen it and I looked at some of the reviews. Not all the cards are available unless you buy the DLC. Which each piece, which there's like 10 to 13, is worth $5.
oh,
Ow.
So you get, I believe, at the base game like 6,000 and
Yeah,
something
it's
cards, and
still
then
a
there's
lot
like
of cards.
I think
6,000?
1,500 that are split up among the DLCs to get.
And how long has it been out for?
Maybe a year now.
I mean, yeah, what year did Yu-Gi-Oh start?
Oh,
Uh,
Did Yu-Gi-Oh start?
90.
Like 98 or 99.
Yeah, about to say 98. I remember I started collecting them in middle school,
Yeah.
so that was like 98 or 99.
Damn, so that means Magic the Gathering must have at least like 12,000 cards by now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Granted,
probably.
they cycle through their cards and re-release their cards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Whereas
Magic
Yu-Gi-Oh
does
just
that too.
keeps pumping out new ones.
and Magic
Oh.
the Gathering's been out since what, like 91 or 92?
Yeah, very early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting freaking Portal, like
Yeah, Portal was
buying
my first set too.
packs at the freaking antique store down the corner where I used to live.
Mm.
Like, instead of buying lunch, I would just save my lunch money and buy packs there.
I remember, like, when I was in a daycare center, I paid like $60 to some guy to give me an Exodia set. And I did the same thing, except I think it was like 50 for a set of the God cards, which at the time were not official.
What, were they in Japanese, I guess? Or
No, the
they
God
weren't
cards were
allowed?
never legal. Like, the backs of them had like
Oh.
a hue that matched their color. Like, Obelisk would have like a blue hue to the back of the card. They didn't actually have their
okay.
effects listed.
I didn't know that.
But they were the only versions of the God cards available at the time, but you could not use them in a duel.
Hmm.
Though the Exodia ones were outright real, so I could use those whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
Screw the rules. I have money.
To be
Yeah.
fair, in this case, yes. Honestly, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Up until 3 or 4 years ago, I think.
I think I still have my cards somewhere.
Oh, I definitely do. I haven't gotten.
I had my Pokemon cards, and then when I lived with my parents, I saw the neighbor kids were playing, and like I just had them in a box. I just gave them my Pokemon cards, and they looked at me like, you're old. Like, how do you know Pokemon? Like, you, I've
To
been
be
playing.
fair, some of those could have been worth some money as collector's cards.
Did
Like,
you see on one of those like Pawn Star type things, the guy was like, "Hey, I have 30 Charizard cards."
what the fuck?
Yeah, and the guy was like, "I have no idea," and like the
Shit,
chummy
Chum.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, he was like, "Hey, I know Pokemon. You can get a few $1,000s," and it's like,
Best I could do is
but
$2.
but his cards, it's like, I don't know. Let me bring in an expert here. And so, and I was just cracking up. I'm like, this is so stupid. Why is this television?
My
Because reality
actually
TV
called
is what gets money, what's good views at this point, no matter how stupid it is.
my
Yeah.
friend called them the one time, and Rick
Crank
answered.
call or
Yeah, like like he called him and like wanted to know like business hours or some shit.
Huh.
Like he could literally find online. But like he called and acted like he had something to sell, and Rick answered and hung up immediately. He's like, "Hey, whatever the name of their pawn shop is," and he's like, "Hey, is this Rick?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I have something I want to bring in," and he's like, "Click."
oh
And then he tried calling and he didn't answer.
oh.
Like, oh man, maybe it was a bad time for that. He also called. We got into calling those reality shows like the Ace of, what the heck is it? Cake Wars or Ace of
Yeah.
Cakes or whatever.
Yeah.
He called up and just asked the prices of like the cakes that they made in episodes. And the one episode, they made a life-size race car, and that cost the person who bought it like $30,000 for like an actual car.
Wow.
Like you literally could have just bought an actual car and put frosting on it, and you
But
could
then-
have actually kept the car after.
But you couldn't eat it then.
You could eat the frosting.
You could
Yeah,
lick the
you
car. You could lick the car. But that would just be weird.
Oh god, but yeah, like with Yu-Gi-Oh, I dropped out around the time the Pendulum Monsters came out because I saw that mechanic and I'm just like, no, that's dumb. That's literally gonna break the game more than it already
Yeah.
is.
That when I played the game, it didn't make any sense. I stuck to like the first three sets that came out that like I grew up with,
Mhm.
and that's basically it. But I was losing because I didn't understand how the other things worked.
Yeah, I played it up through. I took a break at one point. I think around the time Synchro Monsters came out. I had like a few years of a break off of it, and then I got back into it around the ending of Synchro Monsters and played through Exceeds. And then we hit up Pendulums, and just looking at that, I was like, I'm disgusted by this thing. Like they literally had to change the way the board looked. They had to add slots for this thing, and I'm like, no. Now you're just breaking it.
Yeah.
And now they came up with a new mechanic called Link Summoning, which is literally just a patch to fix Pendulum Summoning because it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I still play Magic with Orion sometimes.
Yeah. I haven't played in so long, but I did find my decks. So, like the ones I couldn't find before.
I see. Yeah, Magic always seemed too complicated for me, so I never actually got into it.
Well, maybe now it's less complicated than Yu-Gi-Oh!
It definitely is.
Probably at this point.
It's actually it's probably the easiest card game to play. Besides
After
having
Pokemon.
to Google some of the
Like awkward rules.
yeah, some of the weird stipulations between
Mhm.
rules or whatever, but other than that, like it's pretty simple.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never gotten into it. A couple friends of mine are really into it, and I was like, I don't know. It just seems too complicated to me.
Okay. So, are we ready to be scared?
Oh yes.
Or are we ready to be very questioning of reality?
Yes, because this week is Halloween. Ooh. So, Ryan, and I'm just going to drop the English title here, but Higurashi, When They Cry. What do you think this is about?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Like be fucking probably so off. Like a poltergeist, maybe?
No.
No,
No.
nothing. Is it even supernatural? It has to be.
Yes.
Okay, at least it's supernatural. All right, do people cry and like they bleed out of their eyeballs?
I
When
believe
they
there's
eat,
a scene with
like-
that involved. Yes.
Like some kind of food involved that causes
No.
people to
No food.
shit their pants and cry blood?
Nope.
No.
Not Chipotle or anything? Okay.
I actually saw this one Japanese idol who was raised in California, and she was mad that Japan doesn't have a Chipotle.
What? It's like mediocre. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was
Why that-
interesting because she was like talking in Japanese, then boom, instant transition to a California accent, and answering questions in English, and I'm like, wait, what? And then she's like, yeah, we don't have no Chipotle over here, and I'm like, Chipotle of all things?
That's what you're upset about?
Yeah. Yeah, but any other guesses about our show today?
Man. Do people, alright. Do people cry? Do like does weird shit happen?
I mean, this is a Halloween episode, so yes.
Yes. Weird shit does happen.
When they cry.
No.
Not specifically when they actually cry, no.
So they're obviously crying about something. So, is it like The Happening? Or like trees making people cry?
No. The trees are innocent in this.
I think we're at Andrew level guessing here.
This is more entertaining than Andrew guessing, though.
Yes, far more interesting because he does have some idea of anime tropes.
Man, let me.
Okay, I'll give you a very, very slight hint. Wikipedia defines it as supernatural horror with some elements of mystery.
The fuck?
Some. I don't say some.
That's literally the vaguest. That's like describing wrestling as like
Two people groping each other?
yeah, bro. Like that could describe anything. What
Did I show you Did I show you that video of the Japanese invisible wrestler?
What? Oh wait, the guy that wrestles somebody and yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
I watch like that. I watch wrestling, so I
Okay.
watched like NPJW and
Yeah, but there's an invisible wrestler.
yeah. That,
Oh, okay.
But let's see. I'm trying. Are there fish people?
There are not.
No.
It is,
Any?
it is not H.P. Lovecraft related.
Okay. Man.
Mystery, psychological horror, supernatural.
Do they eat mystery flavored Oreos and cry? Like gremlins or something? They just start tripping balls on mystery flavored airheads.
Call
don't know.
back.
I don't even know.
Okay.
Please
Okay.
explain this.
We won't explain it too much because it's mystery and that might spoil some of the fun in the end because just like saying, the butler did it.
Hold on,
No.
hold on. I just want to give him one thing before we even explain anything, okay?
Mhm.
Just let me do this quick.
Okay.
I'm going to give him one scene, All right, and Orion, are you squeamish at all or no?
No.
All right, then you should be fine. I'm gonna give you this one scene from YouTube from the show. Just go
Okay.
ahead and watch it.
All right.
So,
What?
so any you want to tell the audience what video you just saw?
It's called Rika's Death. So, what I gather from that, the chick just like puts a knife against the wall and this rams the side of her head into the knife until she dies.
Mm-hmm. Does this
So-
help you in any way, shape, or form to figure out what's going on?
Kind of. What I think maybe it is, the one chick is like telepathic and caused her to do
No.
that, or scared her into killing herself. I don't fucking know. She just pulls out a taser, and then the chick's like, "Nah, it's cool, I'll do it," and just stabs herself in the head.
Oh. You. And this will be brought up a little bit later on. That will make you go, what even more? But
We'll give you a brief rundown of the first 5 episodes, let's say. Because if
Yeah.
anyone's going to watch this, I highly recommend watching the first 5 episodes before deciding if you're going to stop or not.
yeah, this was actually a what did he call it? A kinetic sound novel, not a visual novel like many people would describe it as. He calls it a sound novel because there's a lot more audio than your typical visual novel.
Mm-hmm.
And you're familiar with visual novels, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Kind of like Choose Your Own Adventure, except
Yeah,
these,
Goosebumps.
yeah, these are more kinetic visual novels, meaning there's literally no decision for you to choose, no quote-unquote gameplay, no choices for you to make. It's just basically a book on a CD or video game that you can just read.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, those are visual novels.
yeah, but kinetic.
Kinetic, in this sense, means like very, very streamlined.
Like think of like audiobooks and then just add visual elements to it. That's basically what you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
So take out the choose your own adventure portion of it for these kinetic visual novels.
Okay.
And they were released, well, the main set was released between 2002 and I believe 2006 in Japan, with English releases for them around 2009 to 2010. And they had a bunch of side stories released afterwards, but we're just going to be focusing on the main storyline. And yeah, do you want me to spoil the one part about the why there's 8 arcs or not?
It's fine.
Yeah.
The main idea, like, there's 8 arcs in this, is that you have your question arcs and your answer arcs. You have a point where you discover a mystery, and then there's an arc later on that explains why that mystery occurred.
Okay.
Yes, and some of them, they're kind of different because
You do switch perspectives to other characters.
yeah,
And sometimes it flips to like different periods of time, whether before a certain character shows up or after a certain character shows up.
So it's kind of like a Tarantino movie?
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah, but
Okay.
and should I break down the 4 into 5 reveal of it being
Yeah, go ahead.
a different world?
Like, we're basically like seeing the first 4 episodes where we meet up with our protagonist, who we assume is our protagonist, Maibura Keiichi. who has just moved to the town of Hinamizawa. He's getting involved with this group of girls that are learning and stuff and playing around with them. And then at one point, right, he starts to slowly become paranoid. He starts thinking that two of the girls, Mion and Rena, are out to kill him.
Mion.
Are out to kill him. To the point where they literally seem to be sinisterly ready to, like, stab him at one point. So
with a needle.
With a needle. Going to inject him with drugs. So he instead grabs the bat in his room, because he is a baseball player, and beats them mercilessly until they're dead.
Oh, okay.
And then episode 5, and all of a sudden everything's back to normal.
And he's like, oh, you never met me before. Yeah, I just moved here. And then in the third arc, after all the events happened in the third arc, oh yeah, you're the new kid. Like, I'm the police chief. I don't think we met before. So
events play out differently.
So at the end of each arc, the story resets itself.
So, like Groundhog Day.
Except there's differences.
There's no repercussions from him killing the two girls?
No, but he also doesn't remember any of it.
Okay.
Like, it's literally reset to a certain day, and certain events play out completely differently.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's really interesting.
Now, I will be honest, like, you have outright said that, yes, there is a girl stabbing herself in the neck with a knife. So it is a bloody series, so anyone that has an aversion to blood and gore would not want to see this.
Yeah, but it's not Saw levels of gore.
Yeah, from that scene, at least it wasn't. I mean, I really don't care if there's like intestines or whatever, somebody being like ripped in half, but
I mean, there's an entire scene where a girl gets crucified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that scene.
That sounds fun.
Oh, very. Like,
yeah.
Oh God, it's an amazing series if you're able to get past that.
It is. I would say it is. And you said that it would make me question everything, that this would be my quote-unquote cat soup. Season 1 made me think that way. But after seeing...
Yeah, because it actually answers itself, though. That's the thing. Cat soup doesn't answer itself.
Yeah, if we were just watching Season 1 and not Season 2, a.k.a. Kai, I would be like, wait, what's going on?
Well, obviously it's the aliens.
Oh yes, the aliens.
That's my friend Tristan, who is the person we were going to have on this as an extra guest.
Oh, and by the way,
this.
Yeah, and by the way, hi Tristan, Mion is still better.
Oh, this will be good. I'm gonna get an earful of this if he hears that. Anyway, his favorite part is the fact that Rena ends up like going crazy in this arc and starts shouting things like, it's the aliens that did it. Aliens have made us like this. They've infected us. They're underneath our skin. And all that other shit. And you're literally sitting there like, wait a minute. That actually makes some kind of sense.
Honestly, didn't even think of aliens.
And does Rena repeat herself just to be cute, or is it some hinting at like the time loops?
I believe it's just to be cute.
Okay.
But yes, there are plenty of deaths in this. Like, God, I don't know how far I want to push this. Like, how much I want to say without spoiling.
If you feel you're going to spoil, don't say it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of, like, things can be spoiled in this just because of how
it's set up.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, but even revealing, well, up to episode 5, you'll realize time is reset, but even mentioning time loops and that there's like 8 time loops, that kind of
spoils it a bit.
It's a little bit.
Little bit.
Okay.
Like, Like, we could talk about character backstories. I would think that would be fine. Like, what Sadako is going through. Because Sadako has, like, her parents died when she was young.
Oh, Tristan's favorite.
No, this is my friend Louie's favorite character.
Who's Tristan's favorite?
Rika. The one who we just saw get stabbed in the neck.
Oh!
But, yeah, Sadako's backstory is basically, like, she's, this young girl, she's only, like, 10. She lost her parents, I believe, 2 years prior. And she and her brother were adopted, by her aunt and uncle. I forget if the aunt is around. I don't think she is. And it's just the uncle.
No, she I think the aunt was one of the victims of the curse.
Okay, so she did die then. Alright, one of the things that ended up happening is that her uncle is very abusive. And so she clung to her older brother for a while until her older brother just kind of disappeared mysteriously. Nobody knows what happened to him. He's just kind of gone. They assume he moved out somewhere.
Okay.
So she's alone dealing with her uncle's abuse. And that's basically where her backstory ends, as she's, trying to put up and tolerate that.
And should we explain the curse? Like, that each year for the past 5 years, there's been mysterious deaths, and along with the deaths, there's also been mysterious disappearances.
Yeah, that's more than enough to give people, yeah.
Yeah, and it's been happening for 4 years. This is the 5th year it's been happening. Oh, and we should say this is 1983.
Yes.
So it's a little bit... Well, although it's modern, it's a little bit set in the past.
I believe it's also what date keeps like repeating itself, like every time the
July, some date in June.
Yeah, there's some
June
day in
20th?
June. It might be June 20th, maybe June 19th. I forget which. But every time we see an arc end, it never progresses past that day. It always ends on that day, and then it resets itself to like a few weeks prior.
Interesting. Do you eventually find out why that is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's
go
ahead.
Sorry, and like I said, there is another series made by the same guy, except that anime adaptation never really got the answers made into animation. It's just left in visual novel format. So it's,
by the way,
bad if you
I don't think you actually mentioned the name of the curse, which, as Rena loves to say, it's the curse of Oyashiro-sama.
Nipa!
Like, everything that goes wrong or is mysterious and unexplainable, it is constantly the curse of Oyashiro-sama.
Is that what we're gonna call Brandon now?
Hey! I
The curse of the amoeba.
I don't spirit people away.
Amoeba Shaba.
Oh god. But yeah. It's a very, very interesting series that I love to death.
Yeah. And I think that during my second watching of it, I'll be able to go, oh, so that's what's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely one that if you rewatch, you'll start noticing things that you didn't originally.
Yeah, like the one thing I texted you.
Like, have any of you seen Westworld?
I really want to.
I forgot that it's on HBO, but I can actually watch it for a couple days now. I wanted to watch it. It looks pretty good.
It's very good, and it's very much the same thing. Well, you'll notice things if you rewatch the series that you never noticed the first time or didn't think much of the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, because character X, as I'm going to call him, one of his opening dialogue is like, and a few episodes down the line, you're like, oh, well, that's interesting.
Like there's also like character fake outs where you think one character is in a place and it ends up being a completely different character in the end. when you realize what's happened.
Yeah. And I would say, although this is psychological horror, I was only minorly disturbed at some of the things that was going on.
It also comes down to, like, can you empathize with the character? Like, for me,
Yeah.
there's a scene where one of the girls ends up, like, having their fingernails, like, ripped off.
Oh, nice.
And because I've had to deal with something akin to that, where I've, like, slammed my thumb in a car door by accident, and have, like, had the nail fall off and regrow, I, like, know, in a way, kind of what that's like. So
Yeah.
for me, that's probably the most brutal scene.
And for being, like, according to Wikipedia, like, psychological horror, supernatural, don't think that's all creepy. There is a fair bit of comedy, like comedic scenes in it to balance everything out.
There's Rana's obsession with this KFC statue.
What the
There's a statue of the Colonel.
KCF.
I'm sorry. It's literally the Colonel. All right, let's
Is
just
the
call it
Colonel
what it
here?
is.
Of course.
She's
of
obsessed
course.
with the Colonel and the statue of the Colonel.
No, basically anything cute. She says, I want to take it home with me.
Yes. She says that about some of the younger Carol characters, like Rika and freaking Sadako.
Yeah, she's like, you look so cute in that outfit. I want to take you home with me. and even in the final arc, I think the teacher says you cannot take the transfer student home with you.
Even though she's trying to shove him in the bag. But yes, there's comedy to balance out the horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good show. Might watch that too.
Yeah, it's
Dive into
50,
that.
It's like 50 episodes, and then I believe there's Higurashi Rei, which are like other side stories released like 5 or 6 years after Kai, which are more like extra material.
Yeah,
like
there's like a 5-episode thing. I think it's another OVA that takes place after everything occurred here. But I don't recommend it. It's not good.
Yeah, and I also saw there's like 2 pure comedy episodes.
It literally pulls the it literally pulls the everything was a dream bullshit.
So
really
me.
matters.
Yes.
When it comes down to it.
Yeah, the extra material isn't worth it in my mind, from what I've seen of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
it doesn't have anything.
And I believe like this is Higurashi, which actually translates into cicadas.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be hearing a lot of cicadas throughout this.
It is set in the middle of summer, so cicadas are a thing that do chirp a lot.
Yeah, and there's also the quasi-meta kind of sequel, Umikyo When They Cry, which is also like a mystery, from what I understand, set up in the same question-answer format but an Umikyo, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is seagulls. So it takes place on a beach, or near a beach.
Yeah, it's, as far as I'm aware, it's not linked to Higurashi at all, other than maybe it's in the same, world.
Yeah, because I heard one...
But there's no overlapping characters as far as I'm aware.
I thought there was, like, one.
I don't know. Because
Okay.
I haven't watched it myself. I'm only going off of what I've heard from other people.
Yeah. Or maybe not necessarily the character, but, like, the consciousness of a character.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all we can really say without getting way too in-depth with this.
And I really, although I want to talk about it a bit more, I don't want to, because I don't want to spoil it, because it's a mystery.
Yeah, we might do, like, you and I, and if I can get Tristan roped into this, we might do a spoiler cast at some point for this series. But until
maybe,
but no promises, everybody. No promises.
Yeah, and if we do, it's going to be a few months down the line, just enough for people to watch this series.
Yeah, maybe like a month, maybe sometime in November, like late November, early December.
Yeah, and there are very subtle callbacks to the previous arcs. And I just remember in one of the later arcs, they were being followed by, I'm not going to say who or what, and Lena grabs a machete. And she has machetes.
She always has that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, the thing is, I didn't even know it was a machete. It didn't look like your normal machete to me.
Well, that's what Wikipedia describes.
Yeah, everyone describes it as a machete, but I don't know if that's what it actually is. Because it looks like
more sword-like.
Like if wait, have you seen Bleach Orion?
No, I have not.
All right, think of like a big butcher knife. All right, and think like they cut the point off as the sword starts to like curve at the edge. So
okay,
it's more like a right angle.
Is it like a Buster Blade almost?
Yeah, kind of like that, except you've cut off the part that like starts curving.
Okay.
So it's a flat end, and there's a little spike at the end of that.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, that's a machete, even though it doesn't really look like one.
Yeah, and I just love the line, "You didn't hit them, did you? Oh, I just hit him with a blunt end." And they're just waving the machete around.
It's like, you're gonna kill someone. Oh, God.
Yeah, this was a really, really good series, and I thank you, Brandon, for getting me into this, because the funny part was I didn't watch this until maybe like 9 days before today, so I had to cram 50 episodes into literally 9 days.
But you couldn't stop, could you?
I had to watch it all the way through, so I do know what I'm kind of talking about here.
You couldn't stop, though, could you? You enjoyed it too much to stop if you could help it. Like, I know work and shit gets in the way, but you enjoyed it enough that you wouldn't want to stop.
Because this was literally one of the only things I was watching, because I was thinking, oh crap, it's Wednesday. And then you dropped on me that Kai is actually the answer arc, so I had to watch 24 episodes in like 3 days then.
Yeah, I forgot that Kai, like, I blame Dragon Ball Z Kai for this, for making me think it was just like
a retelling
of it, rather than, you know, the sequel season.
Yeah, because I believe Kai, in this sense of the word, means answer?
I'm never sure. It's weird because...
Solution.
Yeah, the way Japanese works, it really depends on, you know, context as to what a word really means.
Okay. I was actually about to ask what the word Kai meant.
Because Kai can mean God. Or Kami is God, or like you have King Kai from like Dragon Ball Z and all the other Kais. Supreme Kai, which also I think means deity, I want to say. But yeah, it all
double
comes
meaning
down
there.
To, it all
Ocean,
comes down to,
restoration, recovery.
Yeah.
Worth. I just that up there.
It comes down to context in the end. Which is why Japanese, Chinese, and all the other Oriental-styled languages like that are hard to understand to us Westerners.
Yeah. And the first season got an English dub. Second season didn't.
So wait, you watched both, right? You watched the dubbed for the first season and the subbed for the second.
Subbed for the second, yeah.
Which did you prefer as far as voice acting goes?
It depends, because I like the police chief's voice in the English dub better than the Japanese dub. There was just something about it. He didn't sound gruff enough to be this old police chief. His voice just sounded off to be like a old, experienced police chief.
Well, then let's say as a whole, you know, like on average, which one did you prefer, rather than individual?
I would say I preferred the English dub more than the Japanese dub.
Okay.
Yeah, like there were a few characters like Kenshi. I preferred his Japanese voice. I preferred Rino's Japanese voice better. But for like most of the cast, I preferred their English voice actors better.
Okay. Now, see, I end up being the opposite of that because I did do the same. Well, not the exact same thing as you, but I did watch like the first couple episodes in the dub until I found a subbed version. But I tend to prefer the Japanese version of voices. There are exceptions, like if we're going to
Cowboy
talk
Bebop.
like Cowboy Bebop, the Funimation dub for Dragon Ball Z, I tend to prefer. Because as much as I appreciate Masuko Nozawa as the Japanese Goku, I really love Sean Schimmel as Goku in the dub over here.
It's amazing, and I know we mentioned this in the Dragon Ball episodes, but she's at least 80, still screaming.
Still screaming.
You have to give her credit.
Playing the same character for 20 years, plus his offspring.
And any alternate versions of him.
Yes. Alright, anyway, like, we're getting off topic here.
As we normally do.
Of course.
Wait, what's your point? I can't find one. Wait, is it in this drawer? No point in there.
I don't know why you'd have my point over there.
Because I can't find it.
Anyway, I think it's time to wrap things up. There's not much else we can really put into this.
So, even though it's a mystery, you pretty much understand Ryan.
He doesn't understand exactly what's causing everything, but yeah.
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 I guess the sort of premise.
Okay, so, and will you be interested in watching this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Actually, check it out. And yeah, so I have 2 shows I need to watch.
Yeah. Last week's and this week's.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're ever a guest again, you'll have more.
Maybe we make this a 4-man podcast.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could do like a couple times a month, maybe.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I won't be house sitting, so I'll be good.
Okay.
I'll be home.
Alright.
So, Brandon 1, signing off.
Let me just go ahead and stab myself so I can exit the stage.
This was fun. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
No problem.
And then, hopefully, whenever we get around to One Punch Man,
Oh, yeah. That's
Ah.
I'm gonna rewatch it. I rewatched it like twice already, but
Isn't Season 3 coming out soon?
yes.
I'm excited.
So, yeah.
Or Season 2, I should say. not
Yeah, Season
3.
2.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm thinking Attack on Titan.
I
Yeah, or
haven't
food
watched
or
that
Food
yet.
Or
Wars.
Food Wars.
But I heard that's really good, Attack on Titan. Everybody
Yeah.
loves that.
Honestly, I
I
would
watched-
recommend reading the manga for that one instead, just because it is so much further along.
Okay. Could probably find that online somewhere.
Oh, most definitely.
Yep.
Alright.
All right.
Awesome.
See you, everyone.
Bye.
Later.